Stare back my azalea that is looking pretty overgrown and scruffy here. It had grown well last season and it's very much still in development at this point. So it's alright that it's pretty ugly. In December you can see some leaves are turning colour. They look a bit yellow and are dropping off. Azaleas are evergreen, so it's not actually losing leaves, it's just some old ones dropping off here. In February it's time to sort this mess out. From certain angles you can see there is a sort of structure, but there's a lot of work and growth still needed on this tree. And here I'm not really pruning it back, I'm just going around and removing all the extra growth. When you prune an azalea, it will send out a number of shoots from the same spot, usually about 4. So I'm just going in and removing anything extra and keeping the 2 good branches in one area. This will make the tree look tidier, but it also means there's a lot of branches that I'm not touching, so it should still flower later in the year. If you zoom in here, you can see at the end of this branch there are 4 shoots, 2 small and 2 really long ones. So of course it makes sense to get rid of the really long ones and just leave 2 little short ones. And that's all I've been doing here across the whole tree. And here we are after. It looks alright. Give this tree a few years and I think it will look pretty good. There's nothing going on in March, it hasn't woken up yet, but I'm sure it will very soon. I'm not going to repot the tree this year, so I don't really need to be watching for the optimum time to do that. In April the new buds started to swell a bit, but not that much. There isn't really much going on. But it is clearly a good time to do some weeding apparently. There is certainly some change in May. The flower buds are really starting to show. There's quite a lot of them, so it's going to look pretty good in a minute. If I just bring you in closer, you can really see they're quite big. They're not everywhere, but there's still a lot of flowers. This is another reason why I think this tree will be fantastic in a few years' time. A few days later and they've started to open. You can really tell why this species is so popular. This isn't even a fancy azalea and they still look awesome. Now if I zoom back out you can see how cool it looks. But there's still a few more left to open. And I think this is them all pretty much open now. I'm really happy with it. Like I said, this is going to be an awesome tree in the future. But unfortunately the glory is short-lived, and in June we have this mess. So I'm just going to go through and remove all the dead flowers and then trim everything back. If you remember in February I just removed a lot of the extra branches, whereas here I'll actually prune back all the branches that I didn't touch in February. After this, the tree will be left to grow again, and it will send loads of new shoots out. It will do exactly the same thing and send out 4 shoots again in one spot, and it will cause a real mess. But that's the cycle of this tree. Next February, I'll come back again, and I'll remove all the extra branches that is produced from this pruning right here. Then I'll prune it back after the flowers again next summer. I'll just keep doing that year after year until this tree is epic looking. Growing bonsai isn't hard, it's just outrageously slow. And here we are after. You can see there was a structure of a tree in there. It just needs the time to mature. And obviously there's nothing happening in July, it's just recovering from that pruning. In August it still looks like there's not much going on, but it is starting to push some new buds out, so it is growing. It's just taking things slowly, and that's fine. I'm in no rush. And here it is now, where it's pretty much going to slow down for the year. I know it's slow to develop, but I'm happy with how it's going so far. Thanks for watching. See you next time.